G'day everybody, how are you going today? It is so good to see you. We've got some exciting news. It was rumoured just a few days ago that we were going to have the 50mm 1.2 native for the Z mount along with the 14-24 2.8. Both of these things have come true and they've now been formally announced by Nikon for a December release. It's going to be a great Christmas season, holiday season for everyone around the world who's excited and would like some of these lenses, one or two. I certainly hope to get one during the holiday season for myself. Who knows? Maybe I'll ask my wife. Maybe she'll slap me in the face. It's all possible. Let's talk about these exciting new lenses. So DB Review has announced at exactly midnight Eastern Standard Time in the US of A that these two products are coming. Firstly, let's talk about the 14-24. Now this is a flagship ultra-wide angle zoom. And when Nikon first announced this type of lens in 2007, and all those years ago, I was so excited about that lens, the 14-24 2.8. I got myself one. There it is right there, and it's a great lens. And my only problem has always been with this lens is and I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a really bulbous front. Very difficult to put filters on it. Yeah, it gets just a little bit out of control. And basically, there's no real way of protecting it at all whilst you're shooting. So you just have to be careful. And sometimes when you're running and gunning, well, that's not very possible. But this has been a great lens to have in the kit and to be able to use at any time that you just need some wide action. 14-24 is a fair bit of wide action. Now Nikon have managed to make this, somehow, they've managed to make this new version of this lens 35% lighter than this one. Now that is a significant achievement considering presumably we're going to get at least exactly the same level of optical performance. And I would think that we're all expecting to get a higher level of optical performance, as we've seen with the 24-70 2.8 and now with the 70-200 2.8. Not only is it 35% lighter at about 650 grams or 1.4 pounds, but it's also 124 millimeters in length. So this is, as I was saying in my previous video, this is a workhorse lens. Nikon have managed to make it lighter and a little bit smaller. Now the other really interesting thing that they've done with this lens is we've all talked about the fact that there's going to be filters attachable. Well, they don't screw on the front, they screw into the lens hood. Now this is a really interesting approach, which I personally haven't seen before. I'm sure people will complain about it because people love to complain, but hey, if it solves the problem and gets the job done, well, it gets the job done. And it also, of course, with this lens, there's the capacity to put filter gels in the back of the lens, down this end. That's another interesting idea. So you've got options, and it means you could put multiple things, perhaps one at the back and one at the front, and so on and so forth. That is the 14-24 2.8 Z mount lens. Very exciting. Obviously we know nothing about its optical performance. We'll start to see some images sometime soon. Now I can hear you asking, how much is this lens? Well, lenses are always expensive when they first come out, and then over time they get cheaper. How much is it? Well, it goes on sale in November for $2,400 US. And look, I think that's in keeping with the previous price relative to when this lens first came out, and I don't think it's at all over the top. Now, some people will talk about how it's not as wide as the Sony. Yes, that's true. I think we'll just have to reserve our judgments on what Nikon has achieved here by making the lens a little bit smaller and significantly lighter, a third lighter. And well, we'll also be interested in actually assessing what's the difference between 12mm and 14mm. Is it that profound? Plus, well, the lens may well optically perform very, very well. Okay, so that is the 14 to 24 2.8Z. Now let's talk about the 50mm 1.2 massive lens. It's a big one, and I'm very excited by the price point that Nikon have come up with here. The 50mm 1.2, now to me this is a luxury lens, it's an exciting lens, it's the sort of lens that I would use for all sorts of stuff just because it's a 1.2 autofocus lens. You're kind of getting so much of what the Noct had to offer with just slightly less depth of field and slightly less light gathering capabilities. Now this lens is going to ship in December. What a great present for some in the holiday season, and it's going to be $2,100 US. Now I think this is an impressive price for what I believe this lens will provide. Of course, we don't know what it's going to look like, but if it's big brother, its big sibling, the Noct is anything to go by, well, I think we should all be pretty happy with it. Now this is a big lens, coming in at 1,090 grams, which is over a kilogram, and it is 15 centimeters long, which is 6 inches in size. Well, you've got to capture a lot of light somehow. You've got to do that somehow, and this is what this lens is going to do. Now what's interesting about the 50mm is they've actually put 2 focusing motors in this lens. So obviously there's a lot of glass to drive, and they want to drive it efficiently and well. So I'm very pleased to hear that Nikon have put 2 focusing motors in there, and we're just going to have to see how well does it do it. I have to say the 70-200, which I've just started playing with, is an absolute stunner when it comes to speed of focus. It's just really, really fast in reacting, very, very quiet, and it's working great on all of my cameras, including the Z50, which I was just playing with it yesterday, performing very well. So I'm very excited to hear that there's 2 motors in this lens, which will mean it focuses quickly, mechanically, and then it comes down to the actual camera body as how fast it acquires focus. Of course, we're very excited about all of that. So these are 2 great announcements. It's wonderful to be rounding out the holy trinity of 2.8 zooms. It's wonderful to be seeing the first 1.2 lens, which so many people have been complaining as to why didn't they do what Canon did, Nikon. Well, they did it. So the fact is I own almost all the primes because they're so inexpensive, and I'm so happy, and it's worked for me. And now we can slowly collect these more rarefied 1.2 lenses, which I actually think this one is reasonably priced. And if the 1.8 50 is anything to go on, this lens right here, if this is anything to go on for the quality of what this new lens is going to be like, well, us Nikon Z mount users, we are in for one hell of a fun ride. I mean, this is just great. The 1.8 is already an absolute stunner. This 1.2, I don't know. It may well bring me to tears. It may well bring you to tears. But anyway, I think it may bring us to tears by just how good it is. The only thing that didn't come out of today is, we're hoping to hear about the Z6S and the Z7S. We're not hearing anything yet. Time will tell. This information will come soon enough. I suppose maybe what Nikon's doing here is allowing more opportunities for marketing announcements. It's certainly what I would do, spread them out a bit rather than put them all in one basket. That way you get more people like me talking about these things more often. So this 50mm, I can't wait for it. As I said, it's going to bring tears to my eye. Nikon in their marketing are talking about a velvety bokeh. Well, I can't wait to get my hands on that velvety bokeh. Got to save up over the next 3 months now. It's not going to be till December. What have we got? How many sleeps? September, October, November, December? Got about, well, who knows when. At least 3, maybe 3.5 months. All right, everybody. Super exciting news. It's been so lovely to see you. If this is your first time here, it is very lovely to meet you, and I would love to see you again. So please subscribe, please share, please like, and if you'd like to see over 200 episodes right now, you can just click right down there. See me again. All right. Oh, this is so exciting. Look at this. This is so the 50mm is going to be about that big. would say. 15 centimeters is around there somewhere. Hardware, man. This is some serious hardware. And this guy, smaller and lighter. Impressive work, Nikon. All right, this is good news. See ya.